This is the end.
My beautiful friend.
This is the end.
Yeah? Okay, nail it. We're going to nail it. Slay it. It was a time which I look back upon as golden days, but the time I couldn't see when friends made memories good. I was surrounded by the things I needed, cared for, held and understood, but at the time with no perspective, just struggling through childhood. My existence was my sisters and my mum and my dad, and the smallest things were weights that could make days turn bad, and all the strings on my puppet were held by another's hand. When I saw something out the car window when I was on the way back from my gran's, there was a boy who was 8 years old and tough like nylon, so full of charge you'd swear he'd been plugged into a pylon, face cried on, but smiling like an asylum as he ran out into the road, dodging cars, running silent, shouting, I've got the world at my feet, I am the start of the dawn, I am the storm and the sea, I am the new way. Step up and hear me roar, I keep my heart beating harder while clouds hit the floor. Back at home, and I'm playing on Dizzy on my Spectrum, and my sister's shouting down the stairs trying to get my attention. There's talk radio and smell of onions from the kitchen, and my legs are feeling numb from the awkward position that I've been sitting in, and I start thinking about this boy that I've just seen, about this encounter with this uninhibited being who seemed to run free in the street as if it was constructed for his feet, as if the heavens had put him here to try and make the earth complete. And I start thinking that it's strange that in so many ways on the surface both of us are the same, but inside him the sun seems to set different. He sings out his name, or the way my initials inside seem awkward and plain. He holds the world at his feet. He is the start of the dawn and the storm and the sea, the new way. He's proud to hear his voice roar. Hearts beat harder as clouds hit the floor. And the greatest manifestation of myself that I've seen is dressed up in a loincloth on the other side of a computer screen. And this skin that I'm actually inhabiting and living in could be so much more than just a bag of bones that I run around in. Times change, and things move on and grow older, and secondary school came calling like the army to a soldier. And if I told you that sat next to me in my first class was the same boy that I'd seen before all this time had passed, and we start talking as we fill out our school timetables, we recap reminiscences of both our past school's fables and fairy tales, and pretty soon a friendship begins to grow. Just two boys from different seas stuck in the same boat, and I tell him how I remember seeing him that day, out in the street, out of the car window with uninhibited play, of how I heard his voice singing out these statements of pride, how they ricocheted in me, they reverberated inside, and how 4 years later, not a day had passed, that I hadn't thought of him at some point as I looked up to the stars, how his joy had burned a brightness that extended out my path, how the skin on him felt soft and saw it grew from my heart, and how the universe was a holding form for us to play inside. And it was his words, his bravery, made me see this with pride. Well, actually I didn't. I just said, I think you're great. I think I've seen you around. Do you want to hang out and be my mate? Day when the lunch bell sounded, we ran free with arms out, playing to the playground, playing free without doubt, while children full of fear on their first day of school stood around with heads full of worry or looking or being uncool. But pretty soon even their defences fell and they started to join in, until the air was filled with the sounds of all these kids playing, until all our voices rang out, sang out to the skies as we proclaimed the glory of being right here in this life, because we all have the world at our feet. We are the start of the dawn and the storm and the sea. We are the new way. So step up and hear us roar. We keep our hearts beating harder while clouds hit the floor. We have the world at our feet. We are the start of the dawn. We are the storm and the sea. We are the new way. Step up and hear us roar. We keep our hearts beating harder while clouds hit the floor.